The Super Bowl is over. It is time to talk legacy. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video. Of course, talking some NFL here to talk about the post-Super Bowl sort of reaction. And I made a video on my Super Bowl reaction and analysis of what I thought happened and what I thought about everything that ended up happening, and you can go watch that video. But I basically wanted to make this video to talk specifically about, of course, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, the two GOATs really at their respective positions, and what this loss did or did not do to their legacies and what sort of impact that had. So I will get into all of that. Let's start with Tom Brady. Okay, so we are adding an L to his record in the Super Bowl now, but he has now gone to 8 Super Bowls. I will not be a hypocrite. No. Okay, I am not going to be a hypocrite here. When LeBron James loses in the finals, people add that loss to his finals record, and that is deemed as a negative thing. But I always say, the fact that you got there in the first place is still an accomplishment. So I will not be a hypocrite with Tom Brady, and I will give him the same benefit of the doubt in the fact that him even getting to an 8th Super Bowl at the age of 40, albeit, that is impressive, okay? But again, it's context, right? Everything happens within context of what happened, how did you lose, did you contribute, did you not, and all of that stuff. But again, not going to be a hypocrite, because a lot of people say, oh, the fact that he lost, if he would have lost to the Jaguars and this loss would have never came on a Super Bowl record, it would have been perfectly okay. No, I can't do that, because like I said, there is something to be said about getting to the end game, getting to the championship round and losing, because that also shows dominance as well. Just because you were not able to get the job done should not take away from everything previously. Now, of course, that might hurt you in terms of GOAT status, but let's not kid ourselves here. We're not talking basketball, we're talking football. Tom Brady's still the GOAT, okay? Michael Jordan, though, that conversation I do want to talk about real quickly, in that people were talking about Michael Jordan and Tom Brady sort of being in the same sentence of the greatest of all time, and they are in their respective sports. And again, anybody that wants to say Tom Brady's still not the GOAT, like, I don't know what to say to you. He is the GOAT, okay? But the conversation people were having was, is he better than Michael Jordan in terms of the greatest athlete in team sports? And now you can take Tom Brady away in that conversation, meaning he is firmly number 2, 3, wherever you want to put him, but he's after Michael Jordan, okay? Michael Jordan was perfect, flawless, 6 for 6 in the finals, and that, again, matters, okay? So, like I said, even though Tom Brady's gone to 8, Jordan's gone to 6, but he won all 6, so he's got more championships, even if he has less appearances. So that's even more impressive, the fact that he has more championships and less appearances than Brady does. Now, if Brady would have won, that would have been 6 for 8, and now we would maybe having a different discussion, but we're not. So, do want to point that out here. Michael Jordan is still the GOAT in terms of team sports. Tom Brady is behind him, okay? But back to the conversation of what does this do to his legacy, folks. Like I mentioned, he is still the GOAT, so I'm not taking anything away from that. But I do think it hurts his legacy in this sense, okay? Yeah, he threw for 505 yards, all-time record in the Super Bowl. Yeah, he was able to, play flawlessly in terms of the first 3 or 3.5 quarters, really, and maybe the first half of the fourth quarter. But the fact remains that he did make a crucial mistake at the end with the fumble, okay? He got fumbled, strip sack, and that's the game basically. And you can't tell me Tom Brady did not have a chance to be able to win that game. Yes, I understand the defense couldn't stop anything, okay? And I will get to Bill Belichick in just a second. But we're talking about Tom Brady here. And as much as I want to blame the defense, because the defense could not stop anybody, we don't give the same benefit of the doubt to Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, who have had countless losses in the finals, in the playoffs, really, where their defense has let them down, okay? Where they've been able to score, their defense has let them down, or they are not able to overcome a porous defense. And here's the thing with Tom Brady, it's not like he didn't have cracks at the end to be able to win it. He did. He just fumbled. And that is going to live forever in our memories. So, like I said, it does hurt Tom Brady's legacy a little bit, but not for what you think. It doesn't hurt it because he lost in the Super Bowl after he got there. It's the way he lost in the Super Bowl. And like I mentioned, that with the fumble, even though he threw for 500 yards, it still matters for something. So that's where I am with Brady. But again, still the GOAT. People are overreacting with all of that stuff. I mean, at age 40, what he's been able to do is incredible. But with that being said, that's Tom Brady. That's what I think in terms of his legacy being hurt. Let's talk about Bill Belichick. As we know, Bill Belichick's defense could not stop anything or anybody, okay? And I do think Belichick's legacy took a little bit more hit, actually a lot more than Brady's legacy did, okay? Now, again, don't want to overreact here. Both of these guys are still the GOATs at their position. But with Belichick, I mean, my God, his defense was flat out embarrassing. Most yards given up, I believe, in Super Bowl history. And here's the thing. As much as I want to give Nick Foles credit, because damn it, he deserves the credit. Nick Foles, you balled your life out. You absolutely deserve that MVP. I do want to say, when people look back at the Super Bowl, and they will do this, they will say that Brady and Belichick lost to a backup quarterback. Now, like I said, Nick Foles did not play like a backup. Nick Foles absolutely deserved that MVP, and he possibly, I can just say it, he outplayed Tom Brady. But the notion of backup quarterback will still be attached to him because that was the case. And so your defense gets shredded by a backup quarterback. Now, if it was Carson Wentz who was on his way to the league MVP, now, okay, that makes kind of sense, okay? That kind of makes sense. But a backup quarterback, and you got shredded, okay? And again, the Brady apologists will come out and say that the reason the Patriots couldn't win this game was obviously because of Belichick's defense. While that is partly true, like I've mentioned before, Brady did make that crucial error at the end when he fumbled the ball, and he did have cracks at the end to win the game, and it just didn't happen that way. So, like I said, I do think Belichick's legacy took more of a hit because he's known as the defensive guru, defensive mastermind, yet his defense does not show up, and he gets outplayed and outcoached by Nick Foles and Doug Peterson. So that is definitely something to consider there. And if you think about the last two Super Bowls before this, I'm talking about the one against Atlanta and the one against the Seahawks. I mean, there was some crazy things that had to happen for them to win that Super Bowl. Of course, Tom Brady coming back from 25 points down, so you probably give more credit to Brady on that one. And then you talk about the Seahawks Super Bowl where Malcolm Butler basically won them that. I will get to Malcolm Butler in just a second, but you get my point here is if Malcolm Butler doesn't make the play of his life, Seahawks win that Super Bowl. So they very easily could be 3-5, okay, instead of 5-3. So that is just interesting to me. But like I said, I think Bill Belichick's legacy overall does take a hit because the notion will be not only were all of these yards given up, but they were given up against a backup quarterback, okay? Now, the other controversy that happened and the speculation was with the Malcolm Butler benching, okay? Now, I wanted to wait to talk about this, and I'm glad I did because I wanted to find out more information that came out, and Ian Rappaport did come out and say Malcolm Butler was, in fact, benched for a variety of reasons. Apparently some team issues, he was sick, and there were a couple other things. But basically, whatever the reason was, I mean, I don't think we'll know the exact reason. Like I said, Rappaport came out and said a couple of the things, but there was not one clear definitive reason. And the fact that Belichick benches one of your better defensive players. Now, I know Malcolm Butler was not that great throughout the year. People act like he was as dominant himself. He wasn't. He was not that great throughout the year, but he was still one of your better defensive players on a defense where you don't have riches of cornerbacks or defensive backs. And so for you to bench Malcolm Butler, still one of your better defensive players, in the biggest game of the year. Like, can you punish him any different way, Bill? Like, damn it, just get the championship and then punish him all you want. Don't let him come all off season to OTAs or bench him during training camp or something. Because to do that during the championship game, I mean, that speaks volumes to what the hell happened. But like I said, this is maybe sometimes where Bill Belichick gets too smart for his own good, and him being aloof and nonchalant and being not transparent, that kind of rubs people the wrong way. And this might have rubbed people the wrong way with how he treated Malcolm Butler. So again, Bill Belichick being ruthless, being this type of coach that doesn't care about players. He's always about the system. I mean, most of the time that works. This time, I think it hurts his legacy. So overall, I do think Bill Belichick's legacy does get hurt here more than Tom Brady's for sure. Though, obviously, both are still the GOATs at their position. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, I think too many people blame you for losing in the championship game. But getting to the championship game is an accomplishment in itself. And I don't think it should be undermined. So that is what I think, folks. Let me know what you guys think about the legacies of Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Are they hurt or not? And if so, how much? Leave a comment down below. Hit me up on my social media, Twitter, Instagram as well. Make sure you guys subscribe. Thanks for watching.